Hi, and welcome back to the Global Treasurer's Future in Focus series in partnership with Standard Chartered. My name is Aaron Fronda, Managing Editor for the Global Treasurer. In today's episode, we will be focusing on the issue of sustainability and how treasurers can utilise specific products to ensure their surplus cash is invested in line with their business's broader sustainability objectives. Joining me today to discuss this topic is George Lee, Head of Cash and Transaction Banking for the Americas region at Standard Chartered. Thank you very much for joining me today, George. Hope you're well.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here.
So I'd just like to kick things off, George, by asking you, what are the difficulties with aligning cash management strategies with broader sustainability objectives within a business?
Sure, happy to. Many corporates and our clients have committed to and aligned to the UN Sustainable Development Goals, which are called SDGs. But typically, these goals are not tagged to the Treasury level. So it makes it difficult and challenging for our treasurers to align to those goals. What we offer is a solution which helps these corporates through their normal business day align their activities with their company's sustainable finance agenda.
So I guess, George, my next question for you then is, could you maybe touch on why Treasury teams find this alignment between their objectives and broader green objectives a challenge?
Sure, because not always the normal business activity that occurs in the Treasury level has to be aligned with an SDG, and that's a formal process. You have to have it has to be auditable, it has to be accredited, which we have in our product. So you can't just decide one day you're doing it. You have work to do to be able to accredit yourself in that space.
And obviously, I wonder if you could also talk about, obviously you've outlined the challenges there, but could you maybe highlight some of the inherent advantages for businesses who do manage to achieve this alignment between their objectives and their broader green objectives?
Sure. Many of the clients in this space, and certainly ourselves, right? I'll use our philosophy as an example of what many clients also have in their own mission statements, right? Their approach and our approach to sustainability is framed around this philosophy, which is how we want to integrate sustainability into our organizational decision making. We have a phrase here at Standard Chartered, here for good, and that's for the good of humanity. It's for the good of the planet. It's for the good of people. And that's part of our vision, which has become one of the world's leading sustainable and socially responsible banks. Many of our clients feel the same way in their own segments, their own industries. So we strive to be that responsible company. And we manage our potential negative impacts through these sustainable activities to sort of counterbalance them with strong environmental, social, and governance risk filters with experienced and well-established environmental and social risk management teams. Our clients do the same.
Perfect. And you've kind of given a bit of an overview of the role that banks play within this kind of wider theme. But
Yep.
Could you explain what role sustainable demand deposit accounts play in all of this, and maybe also touch on how they differ from other sustainable products out there in the market?
Sure, happy to. So sustainable demand accounts, they provide corporates an opportunity to participate, in a sense, to the sustainable development agenda by having their short-term surplus cash, which is typically what's in a DDA, but it's now able to be referenced against in this case, if they're with Standard Chartered, they're able to reference those short-term surplus cash against Standard Chartered sustainable loans and projects. Earmarked against that. It's a simple way, but fully automated and an auditable solution that they can use in their and prove to the market that they are in fact conducting sustainable activities.
Yeah, and again, talking more specifically about Standard Chartered. So obviously, Standard Chartered has its own version of a sustainable demand deposit account, which clients can use to invest surplus cash. Could you provide some examples of how cash can be used?
Sure, there are many, depending on the segment that the client is in, if it's, it could be real estate, it could be farming, agriculture, et cetera. There are plenty of opportunities out in the marketplace where local governments and municipalities will align up, additional work, housing projects, construction projects that need to be done, and a requirement to winning that deal is to prove that you are doing so in a sustainable manner. And financing is part of that, right? If you're a potential builder or your potential supplier, it helps for you to be able to say, I'm doing this financially in a sustainable format.
And finally, George, because sustainability should be a topic which is front of mind for all Treasury teams, and obviously those which do not align their cash management strategies with broader sustainability goals, I wondered, what do they risk?
Well, they risk potential opportunities, right? We see growth in our own business lines. The more sustainable you are, the more applicable you are to new opportunities. So it's a growth engine for us. I think as the world turns more and more socially and sustainably conscious, you will find yourself in a position to wanting, or as a client, you'd want to be positioned on that side of the fence when looking to recruit people, when looking to further your own causes. It just lines up, especially if you have a culture and a mission statement that's way. If you don't, I suspect over time people will wind up leaning that way and evolving into that space. We just happen to believe in that. I think many of our peers and many of our colleagues and many of our clients do as well. And those who don't will it's up to them how they follow their own mission statements and their own corporate pursuits. But, over time, I suspect they'll all start to lean that way.
Sure. Thanks, George. And thank you for outlining why sustainability has and is continuing to become a core pillar for treasurers and the function. Anyway, I just want to thank you for all of your time today, George.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Sadly, that's all we have time for, but really appreciate you sharing your insights with me today, and obviously our subscribers as well. And for those eager to watch more video content or simply looking to access information on the latest emerging trends impacting their Treasury function, please visit the Global Treasurer online. Thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.